Nancy Pelosi is a raging hypocrite? Who would have thunk it? Who would have ever suspected that Nancy Pelosi would ignore science and all of the evidence and defy all of the lockdown orders in California to get her hair done at salons that are not even allowed to open? Yes, folks, that is exactly what has happened. This story in the Post-Millennial revealed Nancy Pelosi flouted lockdown rules to get her hair done at a salon that's not allowed to open. And there we have it. The picture of Nancy Pelosi from the security camera right there, wet hair, no mask. Notice she is not wearing a mask. I have gotten my hair cut such as it is. I mean, I don't have a lot of hair to cut because really they just shave the sides and take an inch off or so. But, you know, anytime I go to the salon to have my very, very simple haircut, I have to wear that damn mask the entire time. There is no other way to enter. You're not even allowed to enter the salon without wearing a mask. And yet there she is, Nancy Pelosi, in all of her hypocritical Democratic glory, not wearing her mask, well, illegally demanding that a salon open just to service her and only her. Like, this is like a modern day version of Marie Antoinette right there. Let them eat ice cream, Nancy. Let's read the story. Nancy Pelosi got her hair done inside an actual salon in San Francisco. The California Congresswoman could be seen skirting business closure regulations on Monday as she had her hair washed and dried. Blow drying is forbidden because of how easily it can spread droplets. According to the San Francisco Chronicle, the city has not yet allowed salons to open since they were shuttered in March. Salons are not allowed to open per city regulations until September 1st. Even then, all services must be performed al fresco. Outside. Was Nancy outside? No, Nancy was not outside. No. Fox News published the security footage, which shows a timestamp of just after 3 p.m. on Monday. Pelosi reportedly had wet hair and was not wearing a face mask despite her advanced age and vulnerability to COVID-19. Her stylist was masked. Now, if you saw one of the videos I posted yesterday on this channel, you'll see that basically there ain't a whole ton of people under the age of 54 dying of COVID. Everyone who's dying is over the age of 54. And Nancy Pelosi, who I believe is like 80 years old, is in one of the most vulnerable populations to die of this disease. But it looks like Nancy doesn't really seem to be worried about getting it. Even though she's older, even though she travels back and forth, conceivably she takes airplanes a lot because she's got to go between San Francisco and Washington. Even though she's like 80 years old, she doesn't really seem all that concerned with catching COVID. Now, I absolutely believe COVID's a real thing. I know people who've had it. I know people who have had a really easy time when they got it. I know people who got very, very sick when they got it. But I do think it's strange that for all of her talk about science, we have to follow the science, we have to mandate masks for everyone. Looks like Nancy doesn't really believe the bullshit she's spewing, does she? Let's keep going. Nancy reportedly had wet hair and was not wearing a mask. Her stylist was. We already read that. Eriko Kaisas, I have no idea if I pronounced that correctly, who owns the salon, said that it was one of her independent stylists who rents a chair in her salon who serviced Pelosi indoors. The stylist contacted Kaias by text the day before the appointment, writing, "I'll be there at 2:45 tomorrow. Pelosi's assistant just messaged me to do her hair." And then we can see a screenshot of the actual text message right there. She told Fox News that she was surprised, saying, "I was like, are you kidding me right now? Do I let this happen? What do I do?" She said that she doesn't control the stylists who rent chairs. I mean, that's actually a pretty legit question for an owner of a salon to ask when she's not allowed to open, but the dang Speaker of the House is demanding it. "We believed Pelosi's actions to be indicative of a double standard in place, one set of rules for those who make the rules and another set for those who follow them. The shop has been closed since March, and the owner, as a single mom who built this business, said the fact that they did this and she came in, it's like a slap in the face. And she's absolutely right. If this shop can service Nancy Pelosi, one would think, and her not wearing a mask while she's getting her hair cut, one would think that they would be just fine to open for business as long as everyone is following the regulations. We're supposed to look up to this woman, right? It's just disturbing. Yes. Thank you, Nancy. Just hand out those red pills, Nancy. Hand them out like they're candy. There are rules and regulations to go by to safely reopen, which I did, but I was still not allowed to open my business. She said she had already erected plexiglass partitions, separated all salon stations by 6 feet, and created proper airflow using windows. But it wasn't enough, apparently, and the city did not allow the July reopening. She said they never let us open. Even after salons are allowed to work outdoors, she would be unable to use the chemicals used in her salon's specialty hair color are not permitted for outdoor use. Pelosi's spokesperson said the speaker always follows the rules. Oh, really? Really? For Caius, who had anticipated being able to open her shop back up in July and is still unable to operate indoors, it's just too much. Nancy always follows the rules, huh? Huh. Doesn't look like she's following the rules to me. Does it look like she's following the rules to you? Definitely doesn't look like she's following the rules to me. Now, listen, I saw this story earlier today, and to be frank, I thought it was kind of silly. And then I kind of sat down and thought about it, and it's one of those things where this is just another example. This is just, it sometimes is the silliest things, isn't it? Where Democrats are spewing this nonsense for so long, and then you have the silliest little example of someone like Nancy Pelosi getting a haircut in a salon that is not allowed to legally open, not even having the temerity to wear the masks that she wants to mandate that every American wear in public. It's sometimes just these very clear-cut cases of absolute and total hypocrisy that they're the most effective at waking people up, aren't they? I mean, God. Like, wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be hilarious if this is what takes Nancy Pelosi down? Wouldn't that be, like, the best thing ever? A haircut. A haircut. I mean, come on. Like, you can't make this stuff up, man. This is 2020, and all Nancy needed to do was, follow the rules like everyone else, and she couldn't even bring herself to do that because, of course, Nancy is above the proletariat. She's a member of the bourgeoisie. She does not need to follow the lowly rules that she tries to impose on everyone else and destroys over hundreds of thousands of businesses in the process. Can't even get her act together to come up with another damn stimulus. Trump has to issue an executive order. Please, Nancy, please. We see you, darling. We see you. All right, guys, that's all I got for this one. Come on, man. That's all I got. Listen, if you enjoyed this video, if you like the type of content I'm putting out, please consider subscribing to my channel, turning on those notifications, giving it a thumbs up, sharing it out to all of your friends who need to be red-pilled, because, again, sometimes it's the easiest things, isn't it? That's all I got for right now. I'll see you guys soon.